in Easton Park, there are so many people who have bought in Bryant Park or Nob Hill, or even like Union Park West, Union Park East, who families have grown, income has grown, whatever it is, but they love this house and they see it as an investment and they're in the position to go to keep that home and buy a new one.
Right.
How can people in Easton Park find your company to manage the property that they are moving from?
As simple as, of course, I'm happy to leave my number, but more straightforward, goodneighborpm.com.
Okay.
We do free consultations, and also helps that I live in Easton Park. So a consultation is, hey, walk over. Okay, yeah, let's.
Sure.
So we get together. It's a strategic session where one, we understand the client situation, where you move in, if you're moving within Easton Park, whatever that may be. Two, there's a lot of first-time home buyers who bought here and are now graduating to their second home, right? And so it's their first time being a landlord. And so we walk through, hey, this is what you can expect, right? It's a full consultation where these are the steps, this is what you can expect financially, this is what it looks like. And three, in that consultation, we do a walkthrough of their place. And we kind of recommend, hey, as you rent out this place, doing this touch up or making this improvement or not doing this would be very beneficial for you. And so, yeah, easiest way to get a hold of us is our website, goodneighborpm.com. We have a consultation link on there. Sign up, and we'd love to chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. No, that's right. Do you have clients in Easton Park?
Yeah, we manage 16 homes
Really?
in Easton Park. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's actually been really, just on a personal note, very, very rewarding to see. It started with 2 homes early 23, and yeah, very quickly we hit our 14th home at the end of last year, and it's been incredible. Just word of mouth, purely word of mouth. Yeah. So Easton Park's, that's one thing I love about Easton Park. It's like super tight community, and so yeah, we've been super grateful to be working with and also meeting so many neighbors. That's been awesome.
Yeah, we love Easton Park. We ask people what their favorite thing about Easton Park is, and it's really become very cool because everyone, I think 100% of the people have said community. And I think what's really cool about Easton Park is there's a lot of entrepreneurs here, and so there's this network of like wanting to help one another out, and like we have clients in Easton Park and feel very proud about that. And I think that there's like an accountability to it, that these are your neighbors, this is your community, you're going to see them at the parks, you're going to see them at the pool, like you got to do a good job. It's really, really important that you do a good job.
100%. And I also, having lived in so many places at this point, I'm so glad we're settled. My wife and I always go, we're never leaving.
Okay.
We love Easton Park. But back to the community, I think a unique part of this community is that we lean in. We lean in, right? In a community, it's very easy to stand back and watch, right? If something good happens or if something not so good happens, right? And this community, oh my God, like it doesn't matter what's happening, we're leaning in.
Yeah,
and that's so amazing.
It's good people.
Yeah. It is good people.
It's good people, and it just seems like everyone's really invested in. Excuse me, sorry. It seems like everyone's really invested in the mission of the neighborhood and of the people and of supporting one another.
Pushing for better.
Always pushing for better.
Yeah.
And I think that you see it just, you can walk your dog and there's so many people who are like, oh, hey, or even people that you don't, you're like, hey, welcome. Like, I'm Nicole. So nice to meet you. Like, it's just a very friendly community. And I think what's interesting is people are like, oh, people from Texas are so kind and welcoming or whatever. But what's really cool about Easton Park is that I would say most people aren't from Texas, and have come here, and everyone is just like nice and friendly and welcoming. And I don't know that we've ever met someone that wasn't just super happy to be here. Like, I think that there's a level of comfort and kindness and
satisfaction.
Yeah.
And you can tell that in the number of people, us included, who moved here and then forced family and friends to move here. I mean, we see that all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, since we moved here, both sets of our folks, my wife and I, they live here now.
Okay.
And then we moved another 3 sets of friends to Easton Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
And ever so often, I mean, we have so many people on the tenant side going, hey, my friends are moving from California, or my friends are moving from Michigan, and we'd love for them to rent in Easton Park. And the underlying mission is to get them to buy a home here next year. And like that's
Yeah.
we everyone loves it here. They really do.
That's an interesting, because once you rent here, you're like, oh, I would love to buy a home here. Like it's just such a cool neighborhood. It's been really fun. We've been here since 2018.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to watch it grow and to watch the community grow. And during COVID, we were all a little worried because it was just Bryant Park and Nob Hill, and that was it. And like CVS wasn't here, and I mean, nothing was here. Like it was just these two little neighborhoods. 183, we weren't even connected to 183 yet. Like, and everyone was a little nervous because we were like, is this going to be an arrested development situation where like, but the communities kept growing, people kept buying. And I thought the HOA did a really good job of creating like events and activations as socially responsible as they could, considering the guidelines and everything, that still kept the community together. And I found it to be it was just really fun to be a part of. And it was kind of like leaning in, like everyone, like you said, like everyone kind of leaned into this horrible situation that lasted for a really long time. And you'd see like front yard parties where people would be like socially distanced. So we would have on Sundays, people would come over, we'd turn the sprinklers on during the summer, and everyone would bring their like lawn chairs and just like hang out.
Yeah.
And you're like, what else are you going to do?
The original splash pad.
The OG splash pad. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this community is great. And I think that I've grown up in Texas my whole life. I'm used to people being really nice and hospitable, but I think that it's special. There's something very unique about Easton Park, and I think everyone who lives here is really proud to be here.
From your perspective, I'm curious. You've been here longer than I have. I was going to ask if there was a point of inflection you noticed where Easton Park went from this growth to this growth, and when was that? I was always curious.
That's a great question. We were walking our dogs over where the food trucks are now.
Yeah.
They weren't then. There was nothing at that point, but we were walking, and like right when you kind of crest that hill that is now a skyline, we looked over, and it was all the pipes for like the plumbing. And I mean, we were both like, whoa, that is insane. And this is during COVID. So like, it felt like a lot had stopped. There were no road. You couldn't get back there. There's like I think they were coming in a different road. And we were just like, oh, that's going to be a lot of houses. And so I think the beginning of COVID, without us knowing it, I think like in a movie where you're thinking about things that are happening that you have no idea are going on, or these people were buying these homes. People in all over were like, oh, I can work remotely now. Let's go maybe find a less expensive home from living in California or New York or whatever. But I think COVID and the community during COVID it was unbelievable. And I remember I don't remember exactly what time frame. It might have been like early 2021 where we realized we didn't like know all of our neighbors anymore. You'd go to the Union or, be kind of walking around the parks and be like, oh, that's a new person. Where, because for the longest time, it was just
Bryant
Park. And I'm sure Bryant Park felt completely like before even Nob Hill started, they just had their community. So I think it was like maybe mid to late 2020 was when it never stopped growing.
Exploded. Yeah.
What stopped was the in-person get-togethers that they would do, which we loved going to, and it was really, really fun. And I think that was sad, but I do think that the HOA, with as much as they could, got the community back together. But I don't think it ever stopped growing. Is what it was. It just felt like it because we all were, everything felt like it slowed down during COVID, but it did not. At least people moving to Easton Park, which is so great. And then I think, again, when the amenity center was complete and they could walk potential owners and tour the amenity center, I think that made a really big difference. Yeah. Because when we were out here in the beginning, like you didn't even get delivery out here. Like there's nothing, the CVS wasn't here.
Yeah.
You're going over to Star Market. That was like the closest place. If you for something quick and not, whatever, and then like the new HEB on Slaughter wasn't there. So we all took a risk early.
Yeah, you took a risk. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we did.
Paid off.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So other than community, what's your favorite thing about Easton Park?
Ooh, I think at a high level, Easton Park in my mind is a Goldilocks combination of accessibility, affordability and community. And I know you said not to say community, but I had to mention it. I have
how are you
to.
not?
But it's like and I still being a licensed broker, just being in the profession, I still help people move in and out of Boston, in and out of Easton Park, and it's very difficult to find newer, modern homes in a tight-knit community, 15 minutes from the airport and 20 minutes from downtown, and
Right.
especially now. I mean, we live in Texas. We love being in the outside and 13 miles of trails, and
Right.
and so at a high level, it really is a Goldilocks community. It really
Yeah.
is, and me personally, it's got to be the trails. It's
Okay.
got to be the trails. I love being outside, and I love that you can walk and feel, you can walk, feel safe, see your neighbors, walk your puppies, do, dog park, that kind of thing. We love that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could add anything to Easton Park, what would it be?
I think this is probably gonna be the most common answer, but it's genuinely, I would say, the commercial side that everybody's eagerly waiting for. I really think commercial is going to take Easton Park from good to great, and I already think it's on its way there. But it'll become this little self-sufficient, little bubble.
You don't
if
have
you
to
will.
leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that would be fantastic.
Yeah. It kind of is already this like self-sustaining micro economy of just all the services that people provide. Rissa with Hands of Hope was here yesterday, and she made a really good point. She's like, everything that I do is here. She's like, the lady that owns the business that cleans my house is here. I bought food from the woman who makes food and delivers it. I get my hair cut here in Easton Park. Like, she's like, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And the food trucks are a great example of what some sort of commercial development in Easton Park can do.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. And shout out to Sonizo for kicking that off. And now it's exploding there, and it's awesome.
I love Sonizo.
Yeah, they're great.
There's some, I joke with Harrison all the time. I'm like, what do you put in your coffee? Because we'll wake up craving it.
It's good coffee.
Like, it's just real good coffee.
It's good coffee.
And good people. I think that's the other thing too, is Harrison and Nancy are just incredible.
They're good people.
Good people. Their team is great.